You know, sometimes the biggest economic stories aren't found in complicated charts and graphs. Sometimes they're found in the life of just one person. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna look at one person, one room, and one single salary to understand a reality that, believe it or not, is shared by millions. Let's meet him. So, our story revolves around this young guy. We'll call him Amit. And yeah, he's just one person, but his experience, it represents something so much bigger.
2 years old.
Think about that age. You're full of ambition, you're laying the groundwork for your entire future. He's right at the very beginning of that professional journey. And this is the number that pretty much defines his entire world right now. 10,000 rupees. That's his monthly salary. But it's not just a number, is it? It's a limit. It's a daily challenge. And it's the central question we're digging into. What does life actually look like on 10,000 rupees a month in a city like Delhi?
So let's set the scene. Where is all this happening? We're in Delhi, a massive, sprawling, non-stop megacity. And this is the backdrop for Amit's day-to-day life.
So this is Amit's entire world. And listen, forget about a spacious apartment or even a flat shared with roommates. We're talking about a single, small room. It's his bedroom, his living room, his dining room, everything, all rolled into one. In a city of millions of people, this little box is the only space he can call his own. Right outside his window, you've got this soundtrack of Delhi. And it never stops. The horns, the chatter, the constant energy. It's this relentless reminder of just how huge and churning the city is. And it really puts into perspective how small his little corner of it feels. And this brings us right to the moment our source material captures. It's that quiet, personal ritual at the end of the month. Amit, alone in his room, carefully counting out his earnings. It's a moment of reckoning, facing the number that's going to dictate every single decision for the next 30 days. Okay, so let's get practical. What does that 10,000 rupees actually buy? Let's break down the reality of that number on the ground. So here's the breakdown, and it is stark. Look at that. 45%, almost half his income, is immediately gone, just for rent. Another 30% for food. Once you add in transport and utilities, 95% of his salary has just vanished. That leaves him with a razor-thin 5% for savings, just 500 rupees. That tiny amount is his only buffer for emergencies, for ambitions, for his entire future.
He visualizes the pressure he's under. His salary is 10,000 rupees. But the average rent for a similar room is already pushing that limit. The fact that he's found a cheaper place shows he's living on the absolute financial edge. This gap between what he earns and what things cost is his constant daily reality. The source material calls this a basic lifestyle. But what does that really mean? It's not poverty exactly, but it is a profound lack of financial freedom. Every single rupee is accounted for. There are no movies, no spontaneous dinners out, no new clothes just because you feel like it. It's a life stripped down to the bare essentials. But look, this isn't just a story about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's an emotional one. What does it actually feel like to live this reality day in and day out? This really captures that internal conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the sheer weight of the daily grind, the constant financial pressure, the fatigue, that feeling of being just another face in a giant crowd. But on the other side, there's this powerful fuel for hope, that aspiration for something better, a sense of purpose, and the incredible resilience you have when you're 22. This phrase, right from our source, is the absolute heart of the story. It's what's etched on his face. He is tired. The struggle is real and it is exhausting. But he is also hopeful. He believes this is just a chapter, not the whole book. That single expression tells us everything we need to know about the human spirit in the face of economic hardship. And that brings us to our final and most crucial point, because this was never just about one person in one room. Amit's story is a mirror. It reflects the experience of a massive demographic, a whole generation of people trying to make their way in the world. What Amit's story represents is the modern middle-class struggle. He's part of a generation flocking to cities for opportunity, only to find this stark gap between their dreams and what their salaries can actually afford. These are the young people building our future workforce, and they all share this common experience: the daily grind, the tight budget, and that powerful, persistent hope for something more. And so we end here. Amit's story forces us to ask a much bigger question. When you have millions of young, hardworking people running this hard just to stay in place, what does their hope truly rest on?
What does the future look like for an entire generation defined by this struggle and this resilience? That's the question his story leaves us with.